Welcome to the SwampCast, everyone. Live from Lisbon Web Summit. We are live on, we're live on Spaces at the minute. Was going to go live on the YouTube, but unfortunately we didn't have enough subscribers. So there you go. Spaces will eventually fill up. Maybe no one's going to come. Hey, who cares? Let's just get on with what we normally do. So, on this week's episode, we will be talking about Web Summit, and a little bit more about Web Summit, because that's the main thing. And also, we're going to be talking about our new stuff that we've got, what's coming up, just do what we normally do. So, without further ado, we'll get started. So, Web Summit. Let me talk you through my time, what we've been up to. I got here on Tuesday, so I missed the first half of the conference because we turned up. It's just the flights. Flights were rubbish coming from Glasgow into Lisbon. So Tuesday I could do a direct flight at 9:45. Got here about 1. By the time I got to my hotel and realised that I'd booked a hotel very far away from the conference and the airport, so it was about half an hour. About 30 minutes on the metro, which is fine. It's a lovely metro. So got there about 3. Went through the big security for it, and then was like, oh shit, this is huge. This is a big thing. Couldn't believe how big it actually was. So, I was a little bit overwhelmed by the whole thing, I'll be honest. Went through a couple of the different places, a couple of pavilions, got some food, got coffee and stuff like that. And then I had a meeting with Max from, I can't remember the name of the company, but they help people with a lot of different things like lawyering, accounting, government grants, UK government grants, which would be good. And it's not really tax relief, but it's more the UK government have an R&D thing. Where if you do, a bunch of R&D and a lot of software development, you can get some money back for what you've put into the world. I don't know. So yeah, we might be able to get a little bit of money back. Max had said 10k. I was like, that'll do. That would be nice. That'd keep us going for a long time. So that'd be lovely if we can do that. So there's a form. There's always a form, especially with the UK government. There's always a form. Let me just check what's happened with the old space. Don't know if this is just broke or not. Because usually there's usually more than just me in these spaces. Well, just me. Where's the recording thing? Anyway, but then I got back to the hotel. I decided, me and Max had a couple of beers in the sunshine. It was lovely. And then decided we would. Then I called it a day. Went back on the metro back to the hotel. I was just absolutely done in completely. I'm just so. Oh. No. Sorry, I'm just going to post out a link. We are live. I'm only going to do this once because it's like, hey guys, come and talk to me. Oh, no, don't close Twitter. There we go. I'm glad I wasn't on live on YouTube because that would have been, God, think about what that would have happened. So then we were, I was knackered, absolutely done in from the travel, and my kids woke me up at 4 that morning, so I'd been on the go all day. And then as I can say, very overwhelmed with the whole Web Summit thing. So, got myself a McDonald's. Come to a lovely European city and got McDonald's. I was not in the mood for trying to find something, proper. So I went to McDonald's, came back, I watched some wrestling. Watched Raw from Monday, which is great. I love a bit of wrestling. If anyone else is a wrestling fan, give me a shout. And then had a call at 11:30 p.m, which I had booked. I had picked 11:30 p.m. because I thought maybe I'd go to the night summit thing that they do. So it's like a party at night with some stuff for the attendees. I thought I might go, so that's why I booked it later. But there was no chance of that happening at all. So yeah, move this over. Decided to just call it a night. I had a really good call though with Optio. That was interesting. Hopefully we can share some of the stuff that we talked about there in the next couple of weeks because it's quite interesting stuff. Michael D. Cotton and AJ, great guys. They've done a lot for the Algorand ecosystem, so very happy to give them the time. And 11:30 wasn't to me. But unfortunately, I drank a can of Coke from the minibar. And I thought, hey, it's getting the minibar. And so I was up till 1. So that was helpful. And then I was up at 6 because my body is trained to wake up at 6 a.m. these days. So yeah, very, very tired today. I call the kids. And then I had a meeting at 9 with Web3M, who do our advertising, marketing kind of stuff for Web3 companies. So spoke with Israel there. Good guy, had a good chat. Talked about what we could do, and said obviously we'll look out for other startups that might be interested in their services too at Web Summit. So we'll hopefully be able to do something with them, and I think we're going to get on a space with them in the coming weeks. Hopefully more successful than our own. Don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, so that takes us. I was finished that day. I was started that day. Sorry, I keep losing my own track. The track of my thoughts on this one. So after that call, got some breakfast in the hotel. Lovely hotel breakfast. Don't know why it is at a hotel breakfast that you decide that you need to eat every food group. When I'm at home, maybe I have some toast or some cereal, but here, you got to have meat and cheese and yogurt and pineapple and nuts and seeds and some cereal and maybe a bagel and a pastry, obviously, and a cake. And you're like, why? I would never do this at home. It's like a good breakfast in me because the food's quite expensive. It's like €14 for a burger. Which, I don't know, in dollars, what's that? Probably $14, something like that. So today, God, I keep losing my train of thought, sorry. So today we went out to see people. Today was my day for meeting people at website, for going around the different stands and talk to folk. So it's a weird one, because in Barcelona, all the stands were basically companies looking to talk to people, which was great. But at Web Summit, pretty much all the big stands were either massive companies like Shell or Vodafone or T-Mobile or something like that, whatever they're called in the world, and not just in the UK, or countries, which was interesting. Lots of countries represented. The UK were there, the UK government were there, but also like the Azores and Dubai and Romania and Georgia and Tunisia and like Belgium and Switzerland and Austria, just lots and lots and lots of countries, and obviously Portugal they had a massive thing. Portugal had a stand for Portugal, Lisbon, and for Porto. So they were really covering everything. So they had plenty going on. And Brazil had a really big stand as well, obviously with Portuguese. Food was great. Food was tasty. There was a lot of food options. Very nice. Got a burger and fries today. I tried to stop eating burgers, but I walked past it. I was like, I can't resist. It was called Son of a Burger, and I was like, that's a good name. Met up with Farzan as well, who we'd done a podcast with previously. So he was out there with a startup that he's working with in a kind of advisory blockchain role. That was cool. So we went around the stall, the stands and stuff like that. The most exciting part of the day was meeting up with the other startups. So there was a bunch of other startups that we had a wee chat with. You'll have seen, hopefully, my video on X earlier on from 7 videos. And they're doing, it's like short content, like a TikTok or a YouTube short, but with calls to action with buttons on it, basically. Which, if you've ever done any marketing stuff for yourself, calls to action are like really huge. And they said they had really good conversion rates for people to actually push those buttons. Which is really cool. And we were doing shorts anyway. And the whole record a short on your phone and then upload it to YouTube and wait for it to upload and then put in the metadata, that was just such a pain. Such a pain. So this made things a lot easier. And really cool thing is that they can be embedded on the site. So they can actually be embedded on a web page because they're just an iframe. So we can do things like, so much easier to do like tutorials, leading people through the app, a user journey and stuff. Just like, I'm thinking of the possibilities, what we can do on the actual site. And definitely like a, short intro type thing, learn about what Algogator is. It would be great. So we're looking at doing that. There was also another one, what are they called? I have an email actually with their name. 1 second. What are they? Rapid Creative. So they said that if you put your URL into their website and send it, then they'll come back and give you a video content based on your. Well, I don't know. I didn't actually get a chance to talk to them directly. I just saw their thing and went to their website, put in our URL, and obviously just gave our data away for nothing. Which now I'm thinking about it. And they said, it could take up to 5 days. I'm like, well, that's not exactly automatic, is it? I don't know if the AI behind it is not built yet. And it's a little bit manual at this point, which is fair. We also talked to, I've got a business card lying around the place. Who are these guys? Carl, not a guy, but the name of the thing. Carl, the virtual data assistant. Because their spiel was, hey, you're a creative person, but you don't want to deal with data in like tables and graphs and shit like that to see, to see what your feedback on like video content and stuff like that is. And I was like, that's me. That's like me. And so they don't have their version out yet. But they're getting their MVP out soon. Hopefully by the end of the year. And it's like a nice, easy interface that'll just, show you the important stuff like the amount of views and how well it did against a video put out last week and trends and stuff like that. And I have a bit of AI to give you some feedback on things. So that was cool. So we talked to them. Also been one for API documentation, which is like, throw in the Swagger API docs or the Swagger like JSON or the Postman JSON, and it'll generate like a nice like Notion-esque web page for you with all your API docs, and then you can edit it and change, add emphasis and stuff. So I thought that was really cool. And we need some API documentation because I want to give Expand Network, who I'm wearing the t-shirt of today. I'm going to give Expand Network access to our Algo DeFi API stuff because they could integrate that. And that would be us saying thanks and give something back, which would be nice. Really make it like more of a partnership than us just buying shit off them, which it still is, but we did update that on the website today that they are officially under our tech partners tab, which is nice and excited to have that there. What else are we doing? Oh, this evening. So, full disclosure, as I'm very much on disclosure and transparency and all that stuff, as you know. I came back from the conference today. End of the day, felt terrible. absolute shit. I did not enjoy myself at the end of the day because it's so big and it's difficult to find out people to talk to. I was always comparing it to Barcelona, and obviously I'm coming back to a hotel on my own, and I miss my kids a lot actually. I had a phone call with my kids and my wife earlier on today, and got a bit emotional while they were just running about being idiots as they do. I really miss them. So yeah, need to. Well, I don't need to do anything. It's just that's just life. So I had to accept that I can. I think I had to get it in my brain that I have to accept that you can miss your kids, and that is completely fine. But you can also have a good time, and those two things are not exclusive. You can miss your kids, and you can have a good time in Lisbon. You don't have to be upset about being in Lisbon because you miss your kid. They can be separate. I mean, if I could be home right now, I'd be home. Let's put it that way. I would be home. But we do have a lot of work to do tomorrow. So I decided I got myself out of the funk and went and got myself a tasty dinner. So I went to Time Out, have a market. Like, if you've been to European cities, like older European cities, they have like markets, these big markets, and a lot of them have restaurants and bars and cafes and stuff inside them, which is always really cool. It's a great place to go eat. If anyone's going to Barca or going to Lisbon or anything like that, these things are great. Go to them. So I decided, I was like, hey, that'll probably be not as... It won't trigger my social anxiety as much. You wouldn't think it, but as someone that has to go talk to people quite a lot at these conferences, this kind of stuff does get to me. Going for dinner is like the whole thing. So I thought, oh, that'll be good. And it's like early, because it's in this part of Europe, people have dinner really late. I was like, well, it's early, so it probably won't be too busy. Little did I know, getting mobbed. Absolutely. Oh, there's a word in Glasgow that we use called hoaching. It was absolutely hoaching in there. Tons of people. It was a great atmosphere. Amazing places around, amazing restaurants and stuff that we saw. And I was like, well, I cannot find a seat here. And I don't want to have to go sit in between a family and their pals, because that would ruin my day. Nothing against them, but it just would. So I was like, oh, there's a restaurant up there. So up the stairs. So I went up the stairs. This restaurant, it was relatively quiet, which I was like, I'm up for that, because a day of like being mobbed by people. So I thought, let's go get a quiet dinner. Went in, and it was very nice. It was a fancy place. Pretty fancy actually. I'm glad I put a shirt on, to be fair. I sat at my little table for one. I went to order, and I ordered this thing. I can't even remember what it's called. I saw that it had shrimp and lobster, and I was like, I'll have that. Okay, let's go for it. Here, cheer myself up. And the guy was like, do you know what that is? And I was like, it had a name. And I was like, no. And he was like, what if you don't like it? I was like, I'm sure I'll eat it. And he's like, well, what it is like a completely traditional Portuguese thing. This is like, it's the most traditional thing on the menu. So I'm not going to explain this, right? And if there's any people that know of this, you can come back at me. So it's like the shrimp, the lobster, chopped up, bread, some vegetables, potatoes, and I think potato. I don't actually know. It should be bread, a sauce, and then an egg, like a raw egg that they put in underneath, and then they bring it to the table in this little pot, and then they just mix it all up like you would do when you were like 5. Mix it all up together, so it's just like a mush kind of thing. The only thing that's really solid is like the fish in there. And I was like, well, this looks. He was like, it looks rubbish, but it's really tasty. And I was like, all right, cool. So you can, if it's an ancient thing, then if it's a thing from the olden days, it's obviously just like we have all this stuff, put it in a bowl, and we'll eat it. But it was very, very tasty. I ate all the bread with it. Had that, it was great. And then I thought I'd get myself some chocolate mousse. I was expecting, as you would, a little chocolate mousse. A little thing, maybe in a glass thing. Fancy. No, what happened was, now I'm where I was sitting. The kitchen was like ahead of me, so I could see people coming out with plates. And this woman comes out of the kitchen, and she's got this massive, like, and I mean massive silver bowl, like one of those ones you would have in like a baker's for doing like mixing up like dough, like huge big things. She had both hands around it, and she walks to my table, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what this is all about. She pulls out a ladle of chocolate mousse. and smacks it on the plate in front of me, and I'm like, oh wow. And she's like, come on then, scrape it off. So I had to get a spoon and take off what you wanted. And it's this mound of chocolate mousse, and it was so good. It was so tasty. And then my wife called, and my daughter wanted to say goodnight, and I was like, my daughter's obsessed with chocolate, as most 3-year-olds would be. And I was like, oh, do you want to see what Daddy's got? And I was like, showed her a picture on my phone. She was like, oh, you better bring some of that back. I was like, okay, I'll try. I'll try and do that. Yeah, so it completely got me out of my funk. I didn't get the metro back. I just walked back. It was about 20 minutes walking back, and that was nice. Got to see a little bit more of Lisbon than metro station, conference, hotel. Lisbon, very cool city. Reminds me a lot of Barcelona. It's the same type of architecture. Yeah, just a very cool place. Love it. Want to come back, obviously, when I can do it properly with the kids and stuff. So that'll be nice. Anyway, so tomorrow we have our stand. Got our booth, our first booth at a conference, guys. Exciting times. So we will be at stand A204 in Pavilion 2, alongside the other fintech and crypto startups. They put everyone together, which is quite good. So we'll be there from as early as I can get there to as late as I can be bothered to stay. We'll see how it goes. There's a lot of very cool companies, and there's a lot of ones that you're like, why would you even make that? Yeah. So we're there pretty much all day. I've got a few meetings at the booth, which is nice. Some stuff for funding, some stuff for other things, and to talk to people and other services that we're looking at that we think we need. There is a company that are on a stand at the same day as us in the same bit called Munson. I think they're a German company. The name would suggest. And they'd reached out and said they do fiat on ramps. Now I know that Pera do a fiat on ramp, but there's no fees shared. Pera keep all the fees, or like the people that do it keep all the fees. So if Munson, if that is their name, have a percentage of the fees that are given back to the integrators like us, then we'd go with that, because that would be very, very cool. And that would kind of tick another box for us. Fiat on ramp would be nice. Yeah, and then just try and get through the day, and then I've got a very, very early flight the next day at 6:45 to get home, and then getting picked up to go see the kids immediately, which would be really, really nice. So that's what we're doing at Web Summit. And after that, version 4 still continues. I am having some fun with React at the minute. Just building up our new discovery pages. Obviously, things have slowed down because I'm absolutely done in from conference stuff. So not done as much work. There's a couple of bugs we need to have a look at that people have reached out to me. So if you're watching this and you've told me about a bug, I will get to it. Just like, come on. I'm very tired. We will get to it at some point this week. But yeah, trying to think what else we're up to. It's our 2-year anniversary, our second birthday is coming up, 28th of this month. I'm not sure if we're going to do anything for it. I mean, commonly it's for other people to do a birthday party for us, but I think we'll have to organise our own birthday party. And I don't know what that'll be. I assume we'll do something like this. I have a birthday. We have a special birthday hat at home that people wear on their birthdays. Don't ask. I think we'll wear that. We'll do SwampCast with a hat that says Happy Birthday and it's got candles on it and stuff. So we'll do that. Maybe we'll make a cake. That'll be nice. So that's what we're doing. this has been. I mean, the actual video is going to be fine and stuff like that. We'll get it uploaded, and I brought all the equipment. But this has to be our least successful space we've ever had. So, Queenie, thank you very much for tuning into the space. I appreciate you, and for subscribing on the YouTube. Again, you're like my number one person at the minute. If anyone has any questions, you can ask me on the space. Queenie, if you've got any questions, feel free. If you're watching this on YouTube or on Spotify, you can give us a DM, you can give us a comment or whatever, and we can answer anything. We're very open about everything that we're doing. I can't seem to stop the talking, so we just come out with whatever. I was talking to Farther, and I was like, "Oh, we're totally transparent." I'm just like, "Oh, we got 3K left in the budget." The budget is now, I think, about $600 or $700. I didn't spend too much on my dinner, by the way. Don't worry, it's €50. I didn't go mental. I was worried that it was going to be, but it wasn't. They forgot to give me my starter because I think the guy was like totally on the whole weird dish that I had ordered. Hey, IRL, good to see you. Yeah, I think he was on that, so I didn't get my mackerel that I had ordered. I was going to go fish and fish. You never really go fish and fish, but I thought it's Lisbon, it's Portugal. Let's go fish and fish, and I'm not having a burger again. IRL, I'd already covered off a lot of stuff. You can obviously watch it on or listen to it on Spotify. But funny story. So I'd alluded to this on Twitter, on my own personal one. So I was sitting, right? So I'm sitting, and then I'm sitting at a table for two, but obviously it's just me. And then in front of me, there's another table of two with two guys, and I instantly heard the I think Canadian. I'm going to say Canadian, the accent, and I was like, oh, they must be here for Web Summit. And then I heard them mention a few things, and I was like, oh, crypto bros. I see. And it was, the classic kind of build. They look like a triangle, and they're very loud. And they were very much that they were changing the world. And that bet on them. And, I'm going to be buying my house with crypto. And I was like, oof. All right, mate. So I eventually, through earwigging and just overhearing and, pretended to be on my phone, overheard they worked for, they didn't run, they worked for Axelar, which is I wouldn't really call it, I wouldn't call it a layer 1. I'd call it more of a layer 0. Like it's got a special messaging thing, which a lot of people are coming out with, to allow interlability between different chains. Now, those chains would be EVM chains and Cosmos chains. Now, Cosmos already has a built-in function for that. That's the whole Cosmos thing. And EVM chains, well, they're all the same basis at the end of the day. So I don't think they're changing the world that much. But they seemed very excited about what they were doing. And I honestly had enough. By the end of my meal, I was like, I have to leave. These guys are doing my absolute head in. That was just a lot of chat, I'm sure you can imagine. Anyway, so we're recording on the video and stuff, and we're also on the space. IRL, you got any questions? Or chat? Oh, so that as a no. Not seen anything coming up. Let's go. But yeah, most unsuccessful space we've ever had. How weird is that? Usually we get 5 or 6 people. But 2? Man, not good. Anyway, I'm just going to ramble. So we'll probably finish things off there. Anyway, as per usual, follow us on the Twitter, Team AlgoGear. Get us on the YouTube. There isn't a fancy URL, I can tell you. And obviously we're on Spotify. Just search for AlgoGear SwampCast on Spotify. You can pick that up. I will get this uploaded right now so that people can check it out. And yeah, any questions? DM, Twitter, Discord, whatever. You know where I am. And we'll be back. I'll do some more videos tomorrow when we're at the stand, using 7 Video, obviously. And you can check that out, and we'll update you through the day how it's going. Although I forgot to bring the charger for my AirPods, so I might have to do it al fresco. I don't know, sans headphones. So that'll be interesting. We're having lots of technical fun this time. Anyway, I better go. Have a good one, everybody. Catch y'all later.